It's a
But
done deal.
also,
They're
to
watching.
the person that was asking that question, you also have to remember that our judiciary is captured as well. So, they have to be extremely careful when they are doing investigations and pressing charges against people for things, because if they, well, even if they do everything right,
Yeah.
chances of being able to get a judge that's going to do anything is
Yeah.
very slim.
Look, here's the bottom line. Because the district courts have been totally captured, and it is very unlikely, except for maybe a few districts here and there, they're going to be able to actually prosecute these people. I think the Trump administration and the seditious Sixers and the grand collusion hoaxers know that the military is going to have to get involved. And that is the reason why they are so fixated on removing Pete Hegseth. Nam, can you pull up the X post from Laura Loomer? So I want to close out the show. I want to close out the show with a post that Laura Loomer, whether you love her or hate her, you cannot deny the fact that this woman is wrecking people in the deep state and exposed, I think, what is probably the biggest piece of this entire puzzle just the other day. So now I'm going to pull this up and I want to read this post to you. Exclusive. Secretary of the Army's office plotting coup at the Pentagon to remove Pete Hegseth and replace him with Dan Driscoll, who is the Secretary of the Army. Individuals in the office of the U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll have been orchestrating a coup against Secretary of War Pete Hegseth in an effort to have him removed by President Trump and replaced by Dan Driscoll. Over the last 2 weeks, the legacy media, which is incredibly hostile to Hegseth, has been posting puff pieces about Dan Driscoll and how he is a rising star at the Pentagon. Sources have told me that Jake Sullivan, the former national security advisor of the United States under Joe Biden, is a very close friend with Dan Driscoll. And they have been friends since they attended Yale Law School. Driscoll and Vice President Vance also met at Yale Law School, which is how Driscoll was nominated as Army Secretary. High-level sources at the Pentagon have confirmed to me that Sullivan has been planting stories in support of Driscoll because Sullivan wants Hegseth removed and replaced with Driscoll. Sullivan is worried Hegseth and President Trump are going to take action against the seditious six, the 6 Democrat lawmakers who are now facing federal inquiries and an FBI investigation after they recorded a video in November 2025 using U.S. military service members not to follow, urging U.S. military service members not to follow unlawful orders, a message President Trump and Pete Hegseth have called seditious. One of the seditious 6 is Democrat Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander, the wife of Jake Sullivan, who goes by a different last name to hide the fact that she is married to Jake Sullivan.